Happy hump day on this incredible, beautiful Wednesday. At least that's how it is where I am. So, just want to give a shout out to everyone. Haven't been on in a few days, but I'm gonna talk about this real quick, and then I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow on Thursday as usual. So, um, you're probably looking at the title of this video, and you're like, okay, as usual, I always say this on a video. Um, the topic being, what is your religion? What's happening simply deep. And the reason why I titled it that is because I get this question very often. I get this question emailed to me, and I've been meaning to do this video because people have been asking. Something to on. And I guess she's a young lady. I had a woman email me today, and asked me the question, and kind of asking me for advice on something. So I figured I'd just address that in here. But people, I guess they ask me this because of some of the stuff I talk about in a lot of my videos has a, theological or philosophical or just a religious tone to it in general, even though I talk about, different kinds of stuff, and I've changed my tune as of recently to a more positive, uplifting thing for you guys, even though my videos still get demonetized. So, that's cool though. But in all seriousness, and I guess because of my appearance, and you see this thing I got here on my face that's attached, people ask, the biggest assumption is, uh, are you a Muslim or Islam or stuff like that? Is the one of the biggest things that I get asked. And in short, basically, just to let everybody know, I subscribe to a higher power, and I subscribe to the tenets of the Abrahamic faith, which you can call it a religion or not, because this stuff is basically a term that was created. Abrahamic faith, I mean, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. I subscribe to all those tenets because I believe they all come from the same source. So, in a nutshell, that's what I am. I'm not you know, dead set on certain things because I can't live up to a lot of those things. I'm gonna fall short of it at the end of the day. Um, so I don't really follow that. I was born here in America. You know, um, I was raised like a lot of people in a household where you think you might know certain things, but it's just basically stuff that's passed on by your forefathers. This is what my mother and father knew, or this is what my mother and father practiced. So this is what I'm gonna do without really any research, put in it. And for a lot of you, obviously there's, similar definitions to religion, and for the most part, it's that the definition of religion being the belief in and worship of superhuman controlling power, especially a person or a personal god or gods. Then you got just a system of faith and worship, and then you have the pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. That can be anything that you trying to better yourself at, or master, so to speak, is your religion. Some people say money's their religion, or getting money their religion, getting women is their religion. Amassing whatever it is in this world, can be your religion. What? Because that's what you ascribe to having supreme importance. So, that's my beliefs on it. I know this is probably a boring topic, and who really cares what I, what I'm saying. But I'm just answering this email because I get like I said, I get asked it. I even get asked it in some of my live streams. People will ask based upon the stuff I say. So I say that to say, out of all things, I'm a human being. I believe in a higher power. I believe that there is karma, divine legislation involved, and there are laws to this universe, and divine laws set in place And when you transgress those, or based upon your conduct, things will, what goes around comes around, or things will happen. And there's only a certain amount of free will that we can exhibit uh, in this world, as far as actions that we do take, you know, and things that come from those actions. So this woman in particular, she emailed me and she said, she asked me and she said she watched my videos and she finds me to be this type of person or whatever, you know, a modest person, down to earth, this and this. But she's saying that she's confused about, you know, finding the truth. She doesn't know where. She's talking about churches in particular, and this is what she's telling me. So for any of you guys that may be, going through a similar thing as her, she's having, I don't want to say you know, excuse me about that, a conflict of faith. She's wondering. She's asking me, how does she find the truth, and can I help her find the truth? Now, anyone who answers that question, whether they be your pastor, deacon, imam, your rabbi, your teacher, your parents, is something that they shouldn't be doing. It's for, helping, I can see that, but finding the truth is, in matters of faith in the heart, is something subjective. You know what I mean? What's happening, Dark Man Jeff? It's something subjective. The truth, there's truth, and then there's truth when it comes to faith. You know what I mean? So faith is one of those things where there's no conjecture in it. No compulsion in it. Nobody can be compelled to you can be compelled to the truth by a higher power, but not by man. And this is what churches and a lot of other places like to do, or parents, is try to force beliefs on the people, and that's not how it goes. So basically what I told her is what I just said. Faith in matters of the heart is subjective. It's not objective when it comes to that. This is something you must seek out on your own, through your own independent study, your own individual study, outside of these forces that may try to spring this information on you. And a lot of people have a hard time with this because they do become indoctrinated to the point where they feel like they don't have a mind of their own and they can't think on their own. How do you know you found truth? Or how do you know that there's a higher power? How do you know, and I kind of said this in the email, when you come across it, it's a feeling that comes upon you when you hear, certain things in reference to spiritual things, the Almighty, verses, it's like empathy. You know what I'm saying? Or you being an empath. You hear certain things when people speak of mercy and stuff like that. For me, it's verses and just hearing about the stories of the prophets and hearing about the mercy of God. And if it moves you to a point where your heart skips a beat, or it's hard for you to breathe, or you have to collect yourself, or even to the point that brings you to tears, then you know that you found some sort of truth. This is just my opinion, as far as that. And this is what I said to her. That's when you know you found it. And it's something I can describe to you, but it's as far as you feeling that. And once you found the truth, you don't feel the need to really make someone else believe the same thing. I'll get on these videos and I'll talk and I'll say things, but it really doesn't matter whether anybody really believes me or not. I get comments and people in the chat will say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And I think about doing it sometimes, even if it is only, a few people watching, like creating a separate channel just to talk about these things. Just, situations eschatology, the end of the world, mercy, blessings, how to pray. This is just things that I've come across, is what I'm saying, because I don't do everything right. Like I say, I'm a professional sinner, but I've learned through heartache and causality and things happening in my life that to walk in a certain way in life, to be a certain way towards people, to not be an evil man, you know what I mean? To not be an evil person, to be a forgiving person, to basically be a man, or try to be a man of morals and principles, and to be upright, and to be that type of person, it takes consciousness, to have mercy. People will say, or atheists, whoever, you feel how you want to feel, but people will say that you would be righteous, or mankind would be righteous without God, or without a higher power, which I find that hard to believe, because there still is evil walking this earth, but as far as you having the consciousness to do the right thing, which I guess that's subjective also, but everybody, for the most part, depending on who you are, can agree that murdering someone isn't good, isn't the right thing to do, to take someone's life. Some people who are devils, may see it otherwise. But the fact that we have consciousness to decide, to make decisions, to, want to be charitable, to want to be goodwill towards men and women, to want to raise our children, to want to settle down and marry, to have feelings, to love someone, so on and so forth. These are the things that really matter in life, and people get caught up in so much stuff that doesn't even matter, because you think you have forever, but you really don't. So in matters of, religion, the religion should be, not should be, perfecting yourself in this life, being the best human being that you can, and that's why what the prophets were sent for, as an example, to be the best, to teach you how to be human, because if you watch television and stuff like that, a lot of these things can't teach you how to be a woman. A lot of these things can't teach you how to be a man, and definitely the way this world is, it definitely can't teach you how to be a woman. I think I already said that, but these are things that you can't rely on someone to teach you or to show you the truth. I've been asked that question personally about, can I show a person something, and it's not my responsibility. Like I told, and I left with the parting words, I can direct you in, based upon, like I said, my videos. You can watch my videos and take what you want, or the goodness from whatever you see in my videos, and move on through life with that, because what I say is based upon what I've come across and my feelings on it, which are subjective. So this is one thing that you can't depend on someone else to give to you, and that's a relationship with the supreme being, the higher power, the almighty, this universe, as some people like to call it. But there's only one source, of everything. So I just wanted to make this video, about this concept of religion, which the only people who have perfected the religion, or whatever religion, that have come across, are the prophets and the messengers. Those are the only ones who have perfected the religion. Everything else falls short, so I don't, feel right giving myself a title knowing that I fall short of that, even though you can say you try. I believe in certain tenets, and I believe in certain things, and these stories, and, the poetry that comes from these holy books and these scriptures, which that's what it is. It's poetry. It's all poetry. and life lessons learned. So, with that being said, I just want to touch on that. I know somebody asked me a question. I guess I looked over it. Is it alright if I leave a question on your discussion? It has nothing to do with this subject. That's why I said it. Yeah, if you got a question, yeah, go ahead and ask it. Hey, shout out to JJ Redwood too, man. I appreciate the super chat. I didn't forget about you, bro. Thanks, man. The brain is the strongest muscle in the human body, but can also be the most easily manipulated, especially due to the weakness of self. The mind, yeah, the brain and the mind, the mind is the most powerful thing in your body. Yeah. I don't know what his question was, but I don't want to be. If you got a question, man, just simply go ahead and ask it or whatever. Because I'm about to go ahead and close this out. I don't want to make this too long. But that's. I just wanted to get that out there, and to implore you guys to actually, if you don't know, to search your soul, search yourself. If you're following certain things, I'm not asking you to question your beliefs, but if you're following a certain way of life, ask yourself, does it align with your soul, with your frequency on this planet? What is it doing for you? Do you feel something not right about it? Is it a Oh, okay. Is it a natural do you have a natural disposition towards it, or do you have an inclination towards it, or is it something that's eating away at you? And if it's eating away at you, or it's not flowing with you, you should sorry about that, guys. You should question it. So with that being said, peace be upon you all. I'll catch you guys on the next live stream. I'm out of here.